let's not take credit for our father's good deeds. So, they've been finding all these blue-eyed statues all over the world, on every continent, it would seem. Oftentimes, right next to some pyramids. I don't believe they found any in or around any of the Mayan structures, but maybe they will one day. But let's go hear what the Mayans have to say anyway.
El bishuntula ahmeyahobe. Katun like kasuna tuyotoch utata. Kalikilnachi anile ilab tumenutata. Le tata.
Tata. Father, right? I'm pretty sure that means father in a whole bunch of languages. It's one of those words, one of the first words a baby might say, right? One of the first words, period. So maybe you should come as no surprise that it's that in so many different languages. Probably pointing to some common origin somewhere. Maybe another planet. I don't know. I'm serious. But when you look at these Semitic people of Europe, what do they say? Father, right? Father. That's what it says. I know it's pronounced father or even father, as if it wanted to go back to its roots, or maybe it's influenced by some of these other cultures that say tata. I don't know. Maybe tata is so primordial, no matter how much you suppress it, it comes out. But fact of the matter still is that some of us say tata, some of us say father. What am I saying? I don't know. Just brainstorming. But on to today's video topic. There, I mentioned the Etruscan civilization. I've been talking about them for a while. And this weird town called Prussia in Italy, right? There it is. Vetluna is kind of an interesting name. I guess it's been Romanized. Velsna is another interesting name, also Romanized, but kind of sounds like something, maybe. Felshina. I mean, these were the Rashna people, so they made these slightly different sounds than some of these other people. Anyway, we see Prussia, and maybe that has something to do with Persia. I don't know, ultimately, right? Because there was between here and Persia, there was also a Prusa at some point in earlier history. So it's something I'm investigating, but there it is, right? Prussia. And then later on in time, we see Prussia up here somewhere, right? There it is. So you see this name moving from maybe Sumer, Persia, ancient Persia, somewhere around the Black Sea. Then you see it in Italy. Then you see it in modern day Poland. And then it disappears, okay? So this name seems like a well-traveled name. And at one point, the Prussians on the Italian peninsula were mortal enemies of Rome, right? And then they were usurped by the Holy Roman Empire up here. Is that all a coincidence? Kind of hard to believe, right? Then we also have the Ukrians. Yeah? We have the Ukrians in what's Eastern Germany today. That's weird. What are they doing over there? But let's look at some of these names like Stary Gord, right? Stary Gard, old. Grud, old fortress, if you will. If it was already old in, what is this, 11th century, then how old is it, right? And then you have Schleswig before it became whatever it became, right? All the way into Denmark. Huh. You have Holstein becoming Holstein, right? I wonder who really is responsible for those pretty stereotypical looking, cliche-ish, black and white, spotted cows. Are they Holstein? Maybe they are Holstein cows. Maybe they are Holstein cows. I don't know. Don't really care. Bardowiec sounds like something to anybody. We also have Bremen, which was called Bojau. Boże, perhaps, right? Something I talked about in another video. So you see how Bojau becomes Bremen, right? Total change. So what are some of the other names of these towns, original names of these towns, right? Pole something over here. What is that? I don't know. But I know some of these names, they're original names, like, where is it? Can't find it right now. Franconia. This one. Strała. Strechla. I think it became Strelic or something like that. Or there is another town that became Strelec, right? Mason, however you say that in German. Menich. I know that one. There's a bunch of them, man. There is a ton of them that were something else at some point. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. Look at this. Niemiec? Is that where Niemcy came from? Right? And if that's where Niemcy came from, maybe, then Niemcy used to be Polish. Right? I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, back to the Ukrians, right? If you look them up in Wikipedia, it'll say not to be confused with Ukrainians. Why not? Why shouldn't I? Anyway, before we get to the Ukrainians and the Lithuanians, in case you haven't seen them yet there, we also have potentially Retrans, however you would say, Rations, right? Retra people. What is that? Well, there was a Roman province of Ratia right around here, and they connected them linguistically to the Etruscans, right? And then it looks like maybe they made it all the way up here. Kind of like the Prussians, right? Maybe all these various towns in Etruria, or Rasenna, right, were, loosely related tribes that had their own cities, their own provinces, and they got chased out. The Prussians down in Italy, today's Italy, a little bit that I read about them, were really fighting the Roman Empire hard, and they had a lot of uprisings there, right? Anyway, we see these names, again, kind of moving in tandem, right? From here to here, right? And then the Ukrians and the Lithuanians today would be considered the Rus people, right? And they live way the hell across Poland, right? Did they just get chased from here? They kept being chased from Rasenna through Ratia to over here, and splitting into all these different tribes, having all these different names. So for Wikipedia to tell me no, not to be confused with the Ukrainians, who were still being attacked by the Roman Empire, right? They just had another war over there. The Belarus people beneath them are being assaulted by the Roman Empire and Byzantium, right? Like this is the same history over and over. It seems like it's all the same conflict, does it not? I'm just trying to, again, with very, very limited resources, evidence, trying to put two and two together. It makes sense to me. And then you have the Vilzians, right? And these names are already perverted by whoever, makes this map, whatever language this is in. Germanic mostly, right? Just FYI, these are the Rugi people, Rugeii in Latin, Slavic people. But look at what they're calling them. RU is the two funny dots, and GEN, right? Everything's getting Germanized. They were called RANA, Rana, Ranovia, Rugen, Rana, runes, maybe, right? Is that why runes are also associated with Scandinavia? Because maybe those people right around there, Slavic, Proto-Slavic people, were more literate than the rest of them. It was a really big thing for them, right? Maybe. Rana, Rugi, according to Helmut from Bože, Bremen, the same people, according to him. Anyway, back to the Vilzians, also known as Liutesians, right? Lithuanians, with their town Vilno, Vilnius, or however it's said in various Slavic languages, right? Oh shit. Excuse me, guys. Had to go make some space, delete some stuff. Anyway, we're back. So the people you see on here as the Vilzians, Helmut from Bremen or Jan Paploński translates that into Wilkowie. What does that mean? That's one of the names for them. It means wolf people, more or less, right? Vilno, wolf, Vilzians, wolf. But they're also called Liutesians or something like that, right? Lutice, I think. I can't remember right now. Liulu, right? How do you say wolf in Latin? Or Italian, maybe. Lupo, Spanish, lobo, right? These are the wolf people. That's what they were called in Polish. And I believe they were moved all the way across Poland and into where currently the Rus people live, right? And this seems to be just the thing, right? You got this conflict that starts here, and these certain names. Well, maybe it probably started ancient Sumer or something, I don't know. But there it is, right? And, obviously, when you go to Wikipedia, you got to take it with a grain of salt. They tell you etymology of Vilnius is something different. It's not what you think it is, okay? And don't confuse the Ukrainians with the Ukrainians. But then you look at some of their native iconography, and there it is. Oh, right? No. Lietuvos. Don't look there, Sonny. The Iron Wolf, right? These were probably. Why is the wolf I mean, I know there's a legend explaining this, right? There's like some of these legends are little tales for the little kids, okay? There's truth to them, don't get me wrong, but it's like the Bible, right? Completely changed. Not completely, but molded, changed. Anyway, right? Iron Wolf. What? It's the, Lutetians or Velet, whatever the hell the Latins call them, right? They're the people in armor, right? Wolves don't wear armor. Who does? Soldiers, right? That's who they are. So again, you see this conflict that I've been able to place, for now anyway, in Italy. And with this conflict, there's this etymological evidence. All these names start moving, right? As the Roman Empire expands, becomes what we today call Germany, and these people keep getting relocated, right? What is this? This is the East March, right, of the Holy Roman Empire. It was this land area right here that wasn't Germanized yet. They were marching east. They've been doing this for a very long time. Well, first they marched north, and with them, they pushed these people north, right? And then they marched east and pushed those people east. That's pretty. It's pretty difficult to deny for me, right? And like even look at this map, right? Gniezno, Poznań, Wrocław, Warta, Świdnik, Legnica, right? Even those names are in German. So who's to say that all these names weren't something else? They were. There's plenty of evidence for this, right? They're not even, like, this is the bias I've been talking about, right? They're not even respecting the fact that these people have their own language and they have their own names, right? Even Poland, that's a foreign name too, land, right? They're not, I mean, by now they're Polish people, but that was all made up. That name is all made up. And I know they have stories to tell you where it came from, but that's not the name, guys. Well, it is now, don't get me wrong, but just like Germany was created, this was too. Anyway, right? You have signs of some people, probably related to the Etruscans over here, those Rasenna people, over here perhaps as well. And then, these people are getting erased off the map. And those people erased off the map here and put further east, right? If you just follow the etymological evidence, footprints, it's getting harder and harder to ignore that with this conflict that came from the south, from the Levant, from somewhere that's Arabia today, Persia most likely, right? These were probably Persians too. The Prussians, they're probably Persian. There was a conflict somewhere in ancient Prussia there, where two brothers got mad at one another. It's an analogy, more or less, right? Something happened there. They got mad at one another, and they've been mad at one another ever since, right? So, I mean, Wikipedia tells me, no, don't look there, Sonny. Don't look questions. Do not confuse the Ukrainians with the Ukrainians. Not the same, right? And these aren't Latvians, Lithuanians, right? These are not Lithuanians either. Yeah, right. And who are the Helvetians, right? Brandenburg? Magdeburg? Like, what are those? Those are German? Really? Nah, I don't think so. Well, by now they are, it's pretty obvious to me what's happening, even though we may not understand the details. We're working on it, but this forced migration, relocation, ethnic cleansing, I mean, it's pretty easy to see, right? It's pretty easy to see. These people have left signs of their presence all over Europe and beyond, right? Because they had to have been a powerful, huge, magnificent culture that took probably thousands of years to change them, influence them, and is being slowly destroyed, this culture, right? These so-called blue-eyed devils, who at some point were called gods, because we live in an upside-down world. And I'm not saying they're gods in the way we understand gods today. I'm not saying that people are gods. I'm not saying that at all. But, you know, blonde hair, blue-eyed devils, right? What did Black Thought say? Resurrect that blonde blue eye and put him through another crucifixion? It is what it is, man. Thank you for watching, and let's not blame the son for his father's sins.